Hey, it's MK, and I am playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and today's sketch is by Janet Fritz, who is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube. And I have to say that I am going to turn her sketch as well as use a slightly different background. So as you know, I have been going through all of my pre-made mixed media backgrounds. And so I picked one out for this layout as well. So I've got a couple of pictures. I've got 3 instead of 2. I have some leftover leaves that were from an advent calendar, I think 2 years ago. I made this little embellishment during one of my cluster videos. I have this Explore chipboard from 49 and Market, some super old sequins that are self-adhesive from Close to My Heart. I pulled out this scrap and this border. This border is from Close to My Heart as well. And then the scrap is from Simple Stories, and from My Mind's Eye, I have this glittered laundry line paper. And when they did a accent to their paper back in the day, like way back in the day, they did not put a double print on the back. And then when they came out with like the Lost and Found and the other newer prints, which they're not new anymore, then they started printing on the back side. So, and then of course the mixed media background that I will be using. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off the branding strip. And I'm inking the edge just to bring it in as its own page. I felt like it needed a closure, I guess, is what I'm trying to go for. I felt like the edge was just too stark white for what I was trying to do. And because I used black on my stencil work, I opted to use black on the background. Well, then I didn't like it, so I brought out my journaling pen, and I'm just going to very quickly go over it about 2 or 3 times. I think I do it 3 times because the first couple times on wet ink, especially distress ink, the pen did not work. So I just kept going with it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that it's sketchy, like actual sketchy. And then, of course, like I said, I'm turning her layout because all of my pictures are going vertical. No, horizontal. Oh my gosh, I do this to you guys every time. They're going horizontal, and instead of having a journaling spot, because technically these are all journaling spots about the post piles, right? So instead of having that journaling spot on the right side of her second photo or middle photo, I'm going to put another photo. So that's where I'm really stretching this sketch. Because of the fact that, you know, I did a mixed media background. I just didn't do it on camera. And then it looks like she did a bunch of shading for the yellow. And so I did shading, but instead of on one side, I did all the way around. And of course, instead of having a bottom left photo cluster and elements, I'm just going to do my entire left side of the page. So a little bit here and there. I am going to push it over. I'm not going to put it all the way on the left because I do want to decorate somewhere over there. So if you guys missed it, I created this layout probably 2 or 3 years ago. I really... This is how good my mind works. I feel like I created this yesterday, but it was a few years ago. And over in Facebook, I have a Mixed Media for Beginners Facebook group. And when I do mixed media, I put it in the Facebook group just to keep it active. But back in the day, I did a bunch of introductions to mixed media product. And I created a bunch of these types of backgrounds that are potentials for more, basically, and I just have them sitting in a bin waiting to be used. And this one here was showing a stencil and all the different things that you can put through a stencil. So I used ink to start with, and of course it was distress ink. And then I used a baby wipe to clean the ink off, but yet transfer that ink back into the stencil, if that makes any sense. So that is how I ended up with this background. Sometimes the technique comes out in favor. Sometimes it just looks like a hot mess, but in mixed media, it does look like a hot mess to begin with. So, you know, that's the whole point, is taking a hot mess and making it look pretty, right? I don't know. But yes, I was really super excited when I found this because they were the right colors. They were the right everything for this particular layout. And I got super excited to finally use up these types of backgrounds. So I've been using a lot of them throughout this month, if you guys have noticed. Also, I forgot what I was going to say. How often does that happen? Probably all the time. So I just went ahead and I used this. I've had this laundry line piece of paper in my stash for years, you guys. And I know I did a challenge last month that I was supposed to use my oldest paper, but really, how can you pick? Because most of my paper is super uber old. And honestly, I just don't. I don't know. It makes me feel good when I pull it out, but when I think about my oldest paper, I don't go and look at every paper to see which one is the actual oldest. Does that make sense? So this laundry line has been in my stash. I bought it back in the day when scrapbook steals used to be a thing. Do you guys remember that website? And they used to have a ton of My Mind's Eye kits. And that was how I ended up with all this My Mind's Eye paper, because I live out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm the last person to find out about anything scrapbook related. I mean, we had paper pizzazz back in the day. So anyways, very quickly, I went ahead and just stuck everything. I did add a little cluster up in the top photo, even though it's not really indicated in Janet's layout. But I did want to do something in the bottom left corner because she has a little embellishment set there. And then I wanted to keep the title over on above the photos, which when I flip it, it's on the side of my photos, right? So I did want to represent her layout, and I love how it turned out, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Janet, thank you so much for such a fun layout. And if I had more of my superhero pictures, they definitely would have ended up on this layout. So I might revisit this layout when I get some more superhero pictures, because y'all know me, I love creating with my superheroes. All right, you guys, don't forget to check out all of the links down below. I have a link for the playlist for everybody here on YouTube that's playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. I also have her Facebook group link, and then in that Facebook group, I have the link to the album where all of these sketches live. You get to go see all 31 sketches. I know it says 30, but she always puts in that bonus for the 31 days. And then inside the comments of each of those is where you'll see a lot of inspiration from everybody playing along. It is fabulous, you guys. A great resource to get you guys going if you're stuck and need a little bit of help and ideas. So it's great for color combinations. It's great for sketches. It's great for everything, even theme ideas, right? So different people do different themes. So it's just a great resource, you guys. And this is series 17. I can't even do the math of 17 times 30. That's how many sketches, actually sometimes 31. That's how many sketches are in there, you guys. It's amazing. All right. Anyways, thank you so much. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.